Good morning, friends. So I'm sitting in Ottawa in the middle of a deep freeze, trying really hard to think positively about winter as the snow is coming down and the school buses have been canceled. And it's got me thinking that winter is the season for reflection. I'm trying to find positive things to think about in the middle of this never-ending cold snap. And if winter is the season for reflection, I've been really thinking about the the place we seem to be in society at the moment. And I've been thinking about standoffs, actually, the sides we have. I often say that my work is in the space between us, and the sides seem to be pretty far apart lately. I think about the government shutdown in the US. The we can stop the shutdown if we build a wall, or we can stop the shutdown if we fund border security, and just the rhetoric and the blame and the shame keeps pulling people further and further apart. Or I watched just this week a video between Catholic students and an Indigenous elder, and the sort of standoff between them, and how you find a space to be in the middle when all the conflict is swirling all around you. I even think about in Canada the standoff between folks who are pro-pipeline and against pipeline. I was just in Alberta, and there's sort of this sentiment that it's about Alberta against the world, and yet that's not how we're going to find a solution if it's we're on one side or we're on the other side. I even think about on social media, the recent Gillette ad, to change their tagline from the best a man can be to kind of crack open a conversation or a thought process about what does it mean to be the best kind of man, and how people have come down on the sides of that, either for or against. And it really struck me that I don't care. I really don't care what side you're on any of those things. I wish for each of us that we could step away from the comfort and the familiarity of being for something or against something, or being on the yes or the no, or the liking this or the not liking it on Facebook or on social media, and actually find within us the courage to step into the middle, to the uncharted territory, the space between us, and to be brave, to crack open our own vulnerability, to not be attached to being right or having people agree with us or disagree with us, to finding the ability to really seek to understand somebody whose worldviews or perspectives are totally different than yours. Not to understand so you can decide whether you agree with them or you don't agree with them, but instead actually to just seek to understand. It's a little bit like, if I have my way and you have your way, and I want you to agree with me or you want me to agree with you, there's no way for us to go together. But if we understand each other as human beings, and if we are both vulnerable and open-hearted and brave, even though it's scary and uncomfortable, we might come a little closer together, and that might allow us to find a third way, a totally different way, that isn't about whether I agree with you or you agree with me, or we're on this side or that side, but actually, what's a new way forward? And I think that takes courage. And one thing I know for sure, the more the standoffs rise, that it's really easy to pick a side. It's really hard to find the courage to actually solve the problem. And I think it takes an awful lot of brave, honest conversations to solve the challenges that we are facing in our world. There are no simple solutions. And so it's time, I think, for you to find a little brave inside you. And maybe start small. Start on an easy thing. Call somebody, send a note to somebody who thinks differently than you. Stop on the street and get to know someone with a sign or a placard or a post that is different than yours. And find a little courage to walk a little bit towards the center, because if we all stay on the sidelines, there is no way forward. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.